What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and in the last video we went through our first off-season with Mississippi State, got our recruiting class in, we've done our position changes, training results, cutting players, all that good stuff. So today we're going to go through our first preseason in Starkville. So let's get the show on the road, let's go to preseason options, and let's go to custom schedule. Now, I was originally going to not even bother showing you all of my changes and just showing you the results. That way I didn't want to bore you me picking players or picking teams, but I wanted to show you something very interesting that I discovered. Let's look at this. So I want to keep an 11-game schedule because every other team does it, so I'm just going to do the same thing. But I wanted to switch some things around, and this is the default schedule they gave me, but let's look at something really interesting. Let's look at week 8, okay? As of now, it gives me 5 options, okay? This is a bummer. I like to have more. I wanted this to be a bye week. But let's see what happens if you pick a team. Let's go with like Texas Tech. Okay, you pick Texas Tech. Now remember what we just saw. We saw 5 options to pick from, 5 teams to choose. Now let's click Texas Tech again. Boom, now it gives us everybody and their brother. I thought this was very interesting. Now I could possibly turn this into a bye week or something. Now I still got 11 games on the schedule. In order to turn this into a bye week, I need to add a game somewhere else. Now, we got a lot of open days at the beginning of the schedule, so I prefer to put like a team right here. We'll do a Division I team like Baylor. Now that gives us 12 games, but I want to get it back down to 11. So if you go to Texas Tech, hopefully this will give us an open date. Go up to the very top. And boom, there it is. All right, good deal. But that's what I wanted to show you is just because it gives you an initial list of options doesn't mean those are your only options. So play around with the teams, pick one, and then pick it again and just see what opens up for you. Okay, I wanted the bye week right in the middle of the season, which I like there. So now going forward, we need to fool with these 3. So what I want to do, I want to pick a warm-up team, a cupcake here to get the season going, get the offense going before we beef up our schedule a little bit. So here, I really could care less about Western Michigan. Let's pick like Ball State or something. I don't really care, or Hawaii. This is going to be a home game, so I prefer to have Ball State come here. Because this is who I was going to pick. Just some cupcake I can go after and take care of business out of the gate. Get some confidence in the run game, all that good stuff. So we're going to do Baylor. Now here, I want to take a ranked game. I want to go on the road and face somebody pretty tough. And who I was going to pick was Cal. It's been a long time since I played at Cal. I like their stadium and their home uniforms, so I think it'd be cool to go to California for a road game. Okay? Now, the only other spot we got here is Arizona. I don't want to take on 2 Pac-10 teams, so because we play in LSU and we already got Tennessee and Ole Miss on our schedule, we already got 4 ranked games, which is fine to me. I think that's enough. Plus, the SEC in general is going to be kind of tough. And speaking of, you look at our conference schedule, we looked at this season. We got Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Kentucky's on the list, or on the schedule every year. They're our cross-divisional rival. But next year we may be playing Georgia or Florida instead of Vanderbilt. So we're going to take advantage of it this year. But for Arizona here, I want to play, let's just go, let's do Baylor. Let's do that. We'll pick another Power 5 school. Okay. So let's do that. So we got Ball State at Cal, number 21. Then we got an open week. Then we got Baylor. Then we get into the heart of our SEC schedule at number 10 LSU. Then Vandy. Open week. Then we got Auburn, Kentucky. And you notice here we're probably going to get some recruits coming in 7, 9, and 10 weeks. Hopefully this will be like the perfect week to bring in some recruits. Hopefully we can beat Kentucky and get some commitments. Then we're going to Knoxville. I'm super excited about that. Then at Alabama, Arkansas comes here, and then we bookend the season with the Egg Bowl at number 18, Ole Miss. Should be a lot of fun. I like the schedule here. It's an A strength of schedule. I think that's perfectly fine for a 2-star program taking on 4 ranked teams and an extra Power 5 school. Perfectly fine with that. So we're going to keep the schedule. Now let's go to redshirt players. This is a perfect time to look at our roster as a whole and to look at jersey numbers for the newcomers and so on and so forth. So here's the quarterback situation. Eric Bradley's going to be our starter because of his speed. Our 2 newcomers, Brian McCoy. This was the 1-star JUCO athlete. Really good pickup just because of his speed alone. We won't need him this year as long as Bradley stays healthy. We're going to redshirt him. He's number 18. Garrett Curry, number 11, the other one-star athlete. We moved over. We won't need him this year. We're going to redshirt him. He's number 11. Halfback. We got 3 seniors. This is our run game is going to go through these 3 guys in some form or fashion. We're going to make use of them since they're seniors. Because of that, these 2 freshmen, Dorian Terashinsky, the kid from Illinois, we're going to redshirt him. He's number 22. And we're redshirting Tom Thomas, the local kid. He is number 5. Fullback, we don't have to bother with. Wide receiver, this is going to be interesting. I'm not going to do any mass subs on offense this year for a couple reasons. One reason is at the wide receiver position. We're a spread offense. We're going to do a lot of 3 and 4 wide stuff, which means we need bodies at receiver. But I'm going to try my best and not and only use 5 receivers. So we're going to redshirt this freshman, Ryan Thornburg, number 83. Our other guy, our best pickup in the offseason, Derek Nicholas, number 80. He's going to start and play a ton for us for sure. So I'm going to try to play with 5 receivers. And besides, I'm not going to be going 3 and 4 wide all the time. I got some 2 wide stuff as well. So I think we're going to be okay with just those 5 as long as nobody gets hurt. Plus, I may put a tight end in the slot if need be to relieve some of these guys. Tight end, speaking of, we got 4 new guys coming in. Calvin Freeman, 88. Josh Singleton, 81. Britt Strong, 84. Sam Ward, 86. Now, I want to bring this up. Every one of these guys had a jersey number in the 80s. Same with our 2 receivers, 80 and Thornburg at 83. Normally, the game will put an 80 number on a tight end or a wide receiver. Not all the time. Sometimes you'll get a single digit, sometimes weird. I remember I done a little small dynasty years ago with Syracuse. I remember a wide receiver came in. He got 22 as a jersey number, which I thought was really cool. So you just never know. But the good thing is the more guys you have with jersey numbers in the 80s, the better chance you're going to get newcomers coming in with a single digit. I'm not a big fan of changing jersey numbers. I've done that in the past and I always regretted it. So I'm going to leave them as is, but I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, we're going to redshirt 2 of these guys. I only need 2 this year. We got 2 tight ends set, but I won't need all 4 to be playing. The best run blocker of the 4 you would think would be like Ward, but strength and run blocking doesn't always correlate. The weakest strength or the weakest tight end is Calvin Freeman, but if you go to the run blocking, he's got the best run blocking ability. So he's definitely going to start for us. Plus, he's a little faster, and what's interesting, he's the fastest of the bunch, but he can't catch all that well. He's only 65. Either way, he's going to play, and you got to remember this offense is not really built around tight ends. They're not going to get the ball a whole lot. We need them to block more than anything else, but it is what it is. So I definitely want to redshirt Ward, and I'm going to redshirt one of these 2. I'll probably just redshirt Strong, and we're going to have these 2 guys be our 2 tight ends going forward. Tackle, we got a pretty crowded room here. Terry and Wilson are going to be our starters. True freshman Ryan Day, we can redshirt him, number 75. Guard, I'm going to try to get by with 3 guards. Again, this is one of the other reasons why I'm not going to do any mass subs. I want to see if I can get by with it. I'm really excited about this Fluellen kid just because of his size. One thing I thought was interesting, his strength is awesome, which is what we want at guard. I thought it was interesting, his run block is great, but look how bad his pass block. I wish in the offseason you could find a stat or something that would tell you, hey, this kind of correlates to pass blocking. But I don't think any of them do. Outside of awareness, maybe. I always think awareness has a little bit of an impact. And it may be because that's 56. But I have no proof of that. Either way, I'm going to redshirt Fluellen. And we're going to get by with these 3. And White is going to back up both of these guys if one of them gets tired. One good thing about NCAA 06, offensive linemen don't tire too often. So you don't have to worry about backups having to come in all the time. Center, we got an interesting dilemma here. Normally I would start Dallas Robinson, but he's a true sophomore. His backup is Dio Herrera. He's a redshirt senior. I want to make use of him, and since they're about the same overall, the awareness is basically the same as a 2-point difference. Awareness is kind of a big deal for me at center. I think that has a lot to do with the snapping, high snaps and whatnot. But I want to make use of both of them. I'm going to redshirt Robinson, and we are going to start Herrera instead. If you look at the numbers here, if you add up both the pass blocking and the run blocking, Robinson's at 11 and Herrera is at 12. Technically, Herrera is the better quote-unquote blocker. So I definitely want to start him. We'll redshirt Robertson. That way we'll have 3 seasons with Robinson after that. Unless I find another really good center to replace him. Hopefully that's the case. That'd be great. Defensive end. This would be one of our best units this season. We got Sanders. He's the guy that we moved from middle linebacker to defensive end. He's definitely starting. Burns is going to be a starter. And Wesley is going to back up both of these 2 guys. Because it's kind of a drop-off after that. Burke was the kid that we moved from linebacker to defensive end. I like that I've done that because 72 speed at linebacker is just not going to work. So he's more useful at defensive end. Chase Hayes, this is a kid we did not pick up. He was already on the team. We're going to redshirt him. As you can tell, we got a bunch of guys that are just better than him. So we'll be good there. Defensive tackle, it's pretty standard here. Nothing we got to do. One thing I do like, and going back to defensive ends, junior, sophomore. We got all these guys hopefully will come back next season. At defensive tackle, true sophomore and a redshirt junior. So our defensive line is going to look good for the next couple years. We just need to get a couple more guys to back them up because eventually these guys will leave. Outside linebacker, this may be our best unit of the bunch. Anthony Littlejohn, our best player. Impact guy. I'm super excited to unleash him. I'm going to be playing a lot more linebacker again because that's just what I'm good at and that's what I enjoy doing. And I'm going to experiment with some different new plays, different types of zone blitzes and stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing all that, but I'm really excited to play with this cat. So we're really good at linebacker. We got 2 seniors and they're going to be starting for us, so we need bodies, better or extra players at linebacker, outside linebacker, so we're definitely going to recruit some here. Middle linebacker. Baldwin is going to start. He's just a little bit better than the other 2. His awareness isn't as good. His strength is better, and he's a better tackler. But what we're going to do here to make use of a couple of these guys is we're probably going to run a little bit of 4-4. The biggest reason for that is because of a strong safety position, which is our weakest position, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Corner. I'm glad I moved Jason King down from free safety to corner. I was originally going to put him at nickel, but I'm actually going to put him as our number 2 corner. Pegs is by far our best corner. It's not even close. He has to play corner for us. But our nickel back, I want Fitzhugh to be our nickel. Only because he's short and King is tall. I want high at corner. So King is going to be our number 2 corner. And we'll look at the depth chart here in a minute. So that's kind of what you see there. Free safety, it is what it is. Damon Glenn, also known as the Demon, is our starting free safety. I think he'll play well for us this year. We need help here because he's a senior and the guys behind him aren't going to cut it going forward in the SEC. We need better players. So if we can find a good free safety to go after, by all means, we're going to do that. Strong safety, this is our weakest position. We need better players here. We just had to go get the best that we could find in the offseason, and here's what we came up with. So some of these guys will probably be replaced in the future, hopefully. But for the time being, we have a freshman, junior, and a freshman. This guy's 13, Sam Ewing. JUCO, Kevin Johnson's number 40, and 20 for Brandon Hogan. I'm going to redshirt Hogan. Ewing's going to start just because of his speed. We got to have speed at the safety position at both of them. Kicker, I'm glad we picked this kid up, Alan Thomas, true freshman. His backup, we can redshirt him, I guess. I may end up benching him if I end up over-recruiting. We'll see how that goes, but Thomas is definitely our starter. He's number 48. Punter. We got a starting punter, and he is what he is. I'd like to replace him eventually. He's a junior, so hopefully we'll get somebody good in the next year or so. Okay, that is it for the redshirting. Now we will go to depth chart. Go to rosters and depth chart. Quarterback, Bradley's going to start because of the speed. His backup will be Henny because he's technically the best of the 3. If Bradley goes down, we may have to burn a red shirt on McCoy because I don't know if these 2 guys' 72 speed will cut it in our run game. We'll see. Hopefully Bradley will stay healthy all year. True sophomore, I'd love to see this guy be our starter for the next 3 years. We'll see how that goes. Halfback, I'm okay with this right here. I prefer to have Thornton over Lowe as our number 2 because we're going to do some triple option stuff, double halfback type of stuff. He's a little bit faster. His awareness isn't as good, but he can catch. Oh, no, Lowe's the better catcher. I just not realized that. His carry, that's what I was looking at. Carry's a little bit better. Either way, all three of these guys are going to be doing something this year. Especially Johnson. A lot of the stuff is going to go through him. And one thing I noticed, if you go here, he's had a pretty good career at Mississippi State. He's had 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Hopefully we'll give him a big season this year. And he may break the school record for a career. I don't think it'll count. I don't think they'll take into effect his previous 2 seasons. But either way, we're going to finish this season strong, hopefully. And we need to turn him into an impact guy if we can. Fullback, we don't have to worry about that. Wide receiver, okay, what I want to do is I'm going to put big guys on the outside and a speedster on the inside. As you can tell, our 3 or 4 best receivers. Our fastest guy by far is Humphreys. So I want him at the 3 spot in the slot. We're going to do some RPO and RPR stuff with this cat. And some run game with him. So I'm looking forward to using him. Special teams as well. So our 2 big guys and our best ones. Let's see here. This guy's a 78. He's 183. His strength is only a 52. Biggest thing is the 59. So these are going to be our 2 outside guys. Guard High and Nicholas. Now, in our passing game, I noticed in some of my plays, the majority of the go routes, the deep balls, that's going to be good to offset our run game is from our Z receiver, also known as our right receiver, also known as our number 2 guy. So you'd think you'd want the height at the Z receiver, but this guy's 6'3", this guy's 6'1". But if you go over to the jump, look at this. 97 on the jump, which is ridiculous for a wide receiver. So needless to say, he is going to be our Z receiver for the next 3 to 4 years. Unless we find a 6'8" guy that's got 97 jump. But you understand what I'm saying. So we got the other big guy on the left. Carter High will be our left receiver. Nicholas will be our right. He will be our deep ball guy. Both of them will be going for deep balls, but I assume you understand what I'm going with here. And then their backups, we'll just kind of wait and see what happens there. Like this kid right here, Jamail Smith. I like he's not very strong. And his strength is not too bad, but his size isn't very good. So we'll see what happens after that. King is a slot receiver. He's got 92 speed, but he has no strength whatsoever. I like his height, but we'll see how all that goes. But these are our 3 main guys. Tight end, I'm okay with Freeman being our starter because he's the better run blocker. Left tackle, let's just put Bryant behind Wilson. Left guard, White is going to be our backup guard for both since we're only playing 3. Center, Herrera over Coleman. He's the better run blocker. Better awareness as well. Right guard, White behind Williams. And right tackle, Terry and Henderson. We're good with all that. Okay, defensive end, what I would like to do is I want Wesley. We got 3 obvious good defensive ends. I want Wesley, my backup defensive end, to be backup for both of them. So Burns and then Wesley and then Sanders and Wesley. I'm okay with that. And then Burke will be the number 3 guy behind him. So I'm good with all that. Defensive tackle, I like where we're staying here. Left outside linebacker, Akins and Silva. I'm okay with that. Middle linebacker, let's put Bennett and then the other one right there. And I want Silva to be my backup outside linebacker and Moore to be the other backup. That way, if one of them gets tired, our number 3 best linebacker will go in regardless. I don't care which side he's on as long as he's out on the field if needed. Okay, corner. We need to move King to the number 2 spot, so we'll go here. So King is on the outside. Peggs is on the outside just because he's our best player at corner. And we got the little speedster, a little faster than King, smaller. Our nickelback, Fitzhugh at nickel. Free safety. I like what we got here. It's pretty standard stuff. The Demon's going to be starting. Strong safety, we'll put Johnson. And that is it. So, kicker, I like what I'm seeing there. Punter, I like what I see there. Special teams. Humphreys is going to be our number 1 guy. And then I want Nicholas at number 2. Only because I want guys who can catch. I don't want any fumbles on the returns. They can catch. But my number 3 guy, I don't mind putting in a halfback here with some speed. So we could do like Lowe. Lowe's our number 3 guy, so we're going to make use of him at least a little bit. He may never see the field special teams. If he does, it's because one of these guys got hurt. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But we'll put Lowe at our number 3. And there we go. Okay, kickoff, starters. I'm fine with all that. Long snapper. We're going to put our top two, or I like to put my backup center and my number 1, give him some reps. And then we'll put the starter behind him. Okay, now let's go to rosters. We'll just double check to make sure the status for the captains is good here. Little John, team captain status as expected. It's always your seniority awareness type guys. And Terry, our best offensive player in terms of awareness. Yep, he is the defensive captain or the offensive captain. So I'm good with all that. While we're here, we can look at program standards. As you can see, the bar is a third of the way full. We'd like to get that down as low as possible. Thankfully, we got 56 points to play with. I just realized that putting 25% on that was probably a little too much. You don't know. I wasn't expecting to have a ton of points to play with anyways. But hopefully we get a couple guys in trouble and we can really punish them and get that bar down. Okay, now let's go to Athlon Sports. I don't know where we will be here. I'm guessing towards the bottom. We can check here. Oh, 90. We're 90th in the country. Hopefully we can improve on that. Heisman Watch. Hopefully we get a player or two on this year if we run the ball well enough. It's your standard fare players, just a normal. We're going to have to go up against this cat this season, R.J. Jackson. Otherwise, the rest in Florida, got a wide receiver there. Okay, let's go to the All-American list. I doubt we'll have anybody on here. We can check the second team. Okay, let's go to All-SEC. We may have a couple here. Donovan Sanders. Yeah, I guess they're just expecting any. I think what they do is find the highest rated players in that conference and just throw them on here. Because Sanders has never played a lick of defensive end before. Not one down. But they got him on the first team. But he's a knock of 90 overall. Second team, do we have anybody? Okay, Wesley, the other defensive end. So we're booking with defensive ends that'll hopefully impact it this year. And that is it for the conference. Let's look at the outlook for the conference. SEC, we should be at the bottom, and we are. Hopefully we'll change that. As you can see here, they got us, Auburn, and Alabama. I wish that was like that in real life. I'm so tired of Alabama being number 1, being up there. I'm ready for Saban to retire. No offense to any of you Bammers out there. Okay. One thing about the roster is we only have 2 impact players. I did wanted to mention that. Anthony Littlejohn and Chris Humphreys. We'd love to get Jonathan as an impact guy. That would be perfect for us, but we can't force that. We'll just see what happens. Hopefully the computer or the game will throw us a bone and put an impact status on him or another skill player, maybe our quarterback or something. That would be great. Now let's go to recruiting. Okay, when it comes to recruiting, you see here we got like 15 spots available. So we'll have another normal class more than likely, but we may recruit over a couple players. We'll just see how that goes. But when it comes to recruiting, like I talked about in the previous video, Mississippi State is really not known to have a humongous recruiting budget. They always recruit local. I went back and looked at the past 7 or 8 recruiting classes in real life, and I noticed that they get their fair share of 4-star kids. They'll get a 5-star once every few years, and usually it's in-state. So my recruiting restrictions, if you want to call it that, is when it comes to 5-star kids, I'll probably keep it in-state. 4-star, I'll keep it pipeline, and then going forward after that. So 3, 4, and 5-star, keep it realistic. That's going to be hard to do. Once I get better, there'll be more kids that want to come. But I try to keep it at least somewhat realistic, but I'm not going to really handcuff myself to such hard restrictions. But we're a 2-star school now, so that's probably not going to be an issue. Now, let's go through our pipelines. We got Alabama, and if you look at their bar, look how little the bar is on the far right. That means they got a ton of players in-state. We have to keep this as a pipeline. They're right next to us. It only makes sense to do that. Let's go and look at some other pipelines. Arkansas, I don't think I'll turn into a pipeline. I'm trying to think of states that are local. You could get players from there, but I'm not worried about that yet. I'd like to turn Florida into a pipeline since they're in the Southeast because everybody recruits in Florida. We'll see how that goes, though. Georgia's a pipeline. We need to keep it as such. They usually have decent talent. I prefer to have Florida as a pipeline over Georgia, but Either way. Louisiana has to be a pipeline. We got to keep players coming from there. And you look at the little red bar, as you can tell, a lot of players come from that state. And of course, we got Mississippi. This will always be a pipeline, but majority of our roster will always come from Mississippi. And I think that's it in terms of the pipelines. I wouldn't mind turning Tennessee into a pipeline since it's a border state, and I'm a Tennessee kid, so it just fits. So I wouldn't mind trying to get somebody from here eventually. I don't know if I'll ever get to do that, but we'll see. And that should be it. So let's go back to Mississippi, and we'll just start there. Again, in-state, all hands on deck. We're a Power 5 school. It's time to go after big-time players if they're available. But in-state, it's 4 and 5 stars for sure, especially on the 5-star front. All right, halfback. At halfback, we need speed. We got a balanced kid, and we got a kid that's got a power as a tendency. So what I would prefer is to go after this kid. He's a 4-star, Ryan Jenkins. We need difference makers at halfback. So this kid would fit our program really well. We're going to go after him. Fullback, we don't need to worry about. Wide receiver, we're going to wait. This guy looks like he's not very strong. I like his height, but we need somebody who's got some size and some strength. So we're going to wait and look at the receivers a little bit later. For now, I don't like what I'm seeing here. Tight end, we got too many tight ends. Like, this kid's perfect for our run game. He's a blocker, but we got too many of them. I don't need a 5th guy. Tackle, I may go ahead and put one on him. We got 6. Let's see. Looking here, we got 5 tackles, but the ones that are coming back aren't all that great. We may put one on him for now. Let me take one off. I'm not super excited about that guy. Let's just wait. Guard, yes. Top 50 player, apparently. In-state kid, 4-star. He looks like a center more than a guard. I like his awareness. We're going to go after him. And we got another 4-star guard. As you can tell here, we got 3 guards coming back. We need help here. We're going after both for sure. Defensive end, you know how I feel about that. We don't need to worry about that yet because we actually got some depth there for now. Defensive tackle, anytime you can find somebody that's 300 pounds or bigger, by all means go after him, especially if you're a 4-3 and if you're a 3-4 team. But we're definitely going to go after this kid. I like that he's short. I think it's funny. 5'11", 315. But I like what I'm seeing here. Outside linebacker, 4.52. Yes. 4.52 and better, I'm all for. We'll go after this guy, 4-star. This guy will be a great outside linebacker for us in the future. Middle linebacker, this guy, usually I try to find a middle linebacker or a future defensive end, and I'm not seeing either. He's slow, so he can't play middle linebacker. And he's definitely too slow to play defensive end. And he's not big enough to play defensive end. So I'm not going to go after him. Corner, free safety, strong safety. Now here, strong safety, we need better players. So we got 2 3-star kids. They're basically the same player. One's 5'10", one's 5'11", but everything else is the same. Let's go after both. I'm sure both of these guys are better than what we have. These are probably, 74, maybe 76 overall top players, just by looking at it. Whole lot better than what we got. So let's go after both. So we got 5 spots to fill. One thing I want to do, I want to go to wide receivers as a whole, and we just need to look at something. Let's look at bench press, directly correlates with strength. Squat helps with your run blocking, but most of these guys can't run block to save their life as a wide receiver anyways. But let's just keep going here. 285 is a really good bench for a defensive or for a wide receiver. I think 300 pounds or more is really what you'd prefer. Like this kid right here would be great for us. He's from Hawaii. He's a 4-star kid. I'm not going to bother. Okay, this kid right here, I really want. He's 6'3", 232 pounds. That is humongous. He is a linebacker playing wide receiver. I like his awareness, but look at his bench. 325. Squat, 470. 441 on the speed. That kid's a freak right there. That's a straight-up freak. I want that kid in the worst way, and he's a Florida kid. Maybe we could turn that to a pipeline. Again, I'm recruiting in the Southeast. I like what I see there. But what I'm looking for is just kind of to gauge the strength for some of these receivers. Most of these aren't very, like this kid right here, like 305, 470. This kid would be great for us. Looks like this guy came straight off the farm out of North Dakota. 6'2", 225, but he's a North Dakota kid. I'm not going to go after him. If he was closer, I would. Here's another kid that's pretty strong, but he's out of California. I'm not going to bother. So, okay, at least that gives me a rough idea. Now let's just go back to our pipelines. Let's go to Alabama. We got 4 spots left, so we need to be picky. Let's go here. Okay, like 5-star halfback, I'd love to go after him. He's perfect for our system. He's a speed tendency guy. 4.31. I mean, he'd be perfect, but I'm not going to bother. Not yet. Maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, we could get somebody like that. If he was in-state, I'd be all over him. Wide receiver, these two guys, I like this guy's size. His strength is not all that. His bench just isn't all that good. I want somebody who can shove around a corner. I like his speed. We may try to go after him. Again, 4-star in the South. I'm going to go after you. This is the SEC. I'm not going to pigeonhole myself and restrict it too hard. That's realistic. We're going to go after a bunch of 4-star kids in the South. So let's just go ahead and do one on him. I like to have some speed. Let's just wait. I may go back to him. I just got to remember Pitts. I may pick the reason why I'm very picky about the receivers, if you think about it, we are a run-heavy team. In the offseason, because we're a run-heavy team, there's not going to be a whole lot of receivers wanting to come to our school because we don't throw the ball a whole lot. We won't be throwing the ball a lot, so we need to get extra receivers in the regular season. So because of that, I just probably need to go ahead and put one on him. We got 3 spots left. Tight end, I'm not worried about. Tackle, like this kid, yes, this guy's humongous. And he's stronger than the kid from Mississippi. Plus, we got to keep this pipeline. So let's put one on him. They got 2 spots left. We're already going after 2 guards, and those are the ones from in-state, so I'm going to leave that as is. And look at here. This guy's 8 inches tall. This is the rare 8-inch man. You'll see it every now and then. It's probably in every recruiting class. You'll find one that's just really short. Height and weight matters, so I don't think I want a guy who's 8 inches tall at guard. But it's cool to see where he may end up. I think it's pretty neat. I'm not recruiting him, though. Center, no. Defensive end, I'm not worried about. Defensive tackle, we're fine. Outside linebacker, 4'6". His awareness isn't all that good. 4'6" is a little too slow. Middle linebacker, Darrell Bush, I like this. We need help at middle linebacker. Sort of, kind of. We could put one on him. He looks like a future defensive end to me. Or he could stay at middle linebacker. I like the options there. Corner. I like the height and the size. I may go after this kid out of Rainbow City. All right, we're about out of points. We got 1 spot left. Let's just look. Well, let's wait. If we come back, we'll put one on him. I like him. He's ideal. I like his height. I like his speed. That's what we need at corner. Free safety. We need help at free safety because the 2 guys coming back aren't all that great. He's too slow. I can't do it. I need speed at the safety positions, both of them. 4.52 is too slow, so I'm not going to bother there. Strong safety. Okay, now let's go to Georgia, see if they got anybody. 4.69, that's not fast enough for me. 5-star halfback, Carl Miller. I'd love to get that kid. But we're just not ready for a guy like that yet. If he was in state, I'd try it. Fullback, don't have to worry. Tight end, don't have to worry. We're going after 2 guards from in state. Defensive tackle, we're fine there. 289, that's a little too light for me. Middle linebacker, corner, he's too short. I like his speed, but he's too short. Free safety, 4.52, that's too slow. And that's all I see there. Now let's go to Louisiana. And if we can't find nobody there, we'll put that extra scholarship on that corner. Let's go to Louisiana. Quarterback, all 3 are way too slow. Halfback, we're not going to have too hard a time getting halfbacks, attracting halfbacks, because we're going to run the ball so much. Off season, there should be plenty of halfbacks, so we'll always want to come to our school. So I'm not too worried about finding a halfback here. Fullback, we don't have to worry about. Receiver, both these guys, they just are too small or too light, too weak. Tight end, we don't have to worry about. Tackle, guard, we're good at guard. Not worried about defensive ends. 4.6 outside linebacker, that's too slow for me. Middle linebacker, corner, too short. He's a top 50 guy. That's too short for me. Free safety, Gosh, that's the kid I'd love to try and go after. 4.39 a free safety. Let's take a chance on that kid. We got bodies at corner. Let's take a chance on this kid. He's a 4-star. If he was a 5-star, I probably wouldn't go after him. But he's a 4-star. Let's just take a chance on him. I want speed at safety in the worst way. All right, those are our scholarships. They're all gone. So let's go to the play week. We'll simulate the first week, and then we'll do our distribution. So here's what I'm thinking. You know, I've done various different ways of doing in-season recruiting. I've distributed points evenly and just kind of working off of that. I've put all my points in the 4 guys. I've done a mix. There's no right or wrong way to do in-season recruiting. But what I really want to do is we need impact players. We need guys who can really change our program around. So I'm going to put extra points into guys who can really affect that. So let's look at that real quick. Go to in-season recruiting. Okay, first of all, let's just look and see if anybody... Oh, we got a plus for this. Yes! We got a plus sign for this free safety. That's awesome. We're going to put a lot of points into that kid. 4.39. I love it. All right, let's keep going. We're just looking... Like, here's a negative... Dang it. Negative pitch. I'm not going to bother with him. I'd love to go after him, but I can't... I'm not going to try to risk it going after that. I've been able to get guys to commit before, but it's just... I don't think it's worth the hassle. Let's keep going. We got several guys kind of up on the list, or we are. All right, that's it in terms of that. So, right guard, we're at the bottom of his list, but he's in-state. I'd love to go after him, but we're going to wait. Let's put free safety. We're going to put at least 15 on him. I think what I may do is just go after guys who can really change our program for the better, if we can. Let's see. Ryan Jenkins, we're close to the top of his list. This guy, if he was the only halfback we picked up this year, he would be our starter next season. So we need him. He's better than our other 2 freshmen. So we're going to put 15 on him. Barrett Smith, I'd love to go after him, but we got a negative pitch, so I'm not going to bother. Outside linebacker, this kid could really help us. In-state kid, 4-star. I love his speed. We're going to put points on him. We'll do 10 for now. We'll adjust later. Let's do 10 across the board, and then we'll adjust afterwards. I just need an indicator of which ones I'm going after. Darren Pitts, kid out of Alabama. The only thing is he doesn't really fit what we're trying to do. I like his speed pretty good. It's not the fan. I mean, 4.39 is pretty good. His hands are A+. I'll be. He's just not strong enough. Oh, gosh. But we're kind of close to the top of his list. Let's put 10 on him for now. We need bodies because, again, I'm here to tell you, don't be surprised if we don't see hardly any wide receivers interested in us in the offseason. That's just the way it is if we're not going to throw the ball a whole lot. We'll see how that goes. Right guard, 6'5", 315, the kid out of Mississippi. We'll wait. I like where we're at with him, though. We need help here. I prefer to put it on this kid. We'll do it on him. We're low on the list, but again, we've seen guys at the very bottom of the list before move up. So, right tackle, I'd love to have this kid. Let's just put 10 on him for now. The strong safety, we need somebody here. We need some help. What about the other strong safety? It's kind of the same thing. They're about the same player. Literally the same type of player. Everything's the same. What's funny is their hands is A+. I think that's interesting. But either way, it's like, who do you get? It's almost like we need to get both, but we'll go after one. Kyle Porter and Jason Hughes. I don't think it really matters, so let's just go after one. Defensive tackle, we're way down on his list, but I like his size. He's like, these guys are hard to come by. Let's put 10 points on him. And this middle linebacker, I'd like to have him. We got 20 points left, though. It's not a big need. We got bodies there. I'm guessing he'll come in. He'll probably be our second or third guy. So, I'm just going to wait. Middle linebackers are usually not hard to get in the offseason. So, this kid, 476.80. 476.80. I like, what's the difference between the two, you know? Awareness is a B, and this guy's an A+. We're at the bottom of his list. I want to keep the good guys in state, so let's Who are our impact players? Like the guys who could change our program around. This kid can. I think we need to put 15 on him. Wide receiver, we need bodies. This is important for us. Let's put 15 on him. We'll do 15 for this free strong safety. We need a guy badly. And then the other 5 points, we'll put it on somebody. For now, to be honest, let's do 2, 2, and I got one more spot left. I'm serious. Well, halfback. We're not going to have too hard of a time getting halfbacks. Let's just go 10. I forgot. Let's just do 10 on this kid. Wide receiver, I like where I'm at there. This is important. We'll keep it at 15. I'd love to go after this kid, but I don't think we'll have a chance. Guard. Yeah, let's go 15 here. And this kid right here. So this is a 3. We'll go 3, and we'll do 2. All right. The guard, the free safety, and the wide receiver, we're going to put 15 points on them. We need them badly more than anything else. We'll just do 10 for the halfback because, again, we're not going to have any problem getting halfbacks in the future, I wouldn't think. But I like him a whole lot. He'd probably start for us next year if he was the only guy we picked up. Outside linebacker, we'll leave it at 10. I like him and this right tackle. And 15 points for this strong safety. We need a better player there for sure. And 10 for this defensive tackle. So we're going after, what, 7 guys? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going after 8 guys. So we're going to put our points into them, and we'll just see how it goes. Okay, that is it. Come on back. We will take on Ball State to kick off the season. Hopefully it'll be a nice tune-up game, get the offense going, build some confidence before we head to California to take on the Golden Bears. Should be a lot of fun. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.